What is up guys, my name's Alex and welcome to Lakey Wargames. In today's hobby discussion I wanted to talk about, have we seen the perfect change to spears already for Age of Sigmar 4th edition? Alrighty guys, so today I want to talk all about spears in Age of Sigmar. Now, spears are something in Age of Sigmar that I think have always been very underwhelming, and is something that I would like to see sort of revised in Age of Sigmar 4.0. Obviously 4th edition will be on us probably within the next year, so it's very exciting times, and I've been trying to think up a list of things, and I'll make a video on it. If you guys want to see something like that, let me know in the comments down below, a sort of list of changes I'd like to see in 4th edition. But I think spears are one of those things that need a re-looking at. One of the things that changed in the last General's Handbook was for the sort of the Battle Brothers thing, where units could fight in sort of 2 ranks as long as they were base to base with a friendly model who was also within base contact of an enemy unit in combat. And that was taken away in the current General's Handbook, which is the Antdor, sort of the wizardy season, if you will. And spears have always been one of those things where they're meant to give you extra reach to allow you to fight in multiple ranks. An example of something that they did really well for that, in my opinion, was the Lumineth Wardens, who not only have a 3-inch reach on their spears, but they also gain defensive buffs for being charged. So it's kind of like the enemy are charging you, they're throwing themselves into your lines, and they are being impaled on the spears as they do so. And that is a really clever war scroll that I really liked. It's something that, you know, you have the extra reach, so if you are charging in and being aggressive, then as you should rightfully so, you are able to thrust your spear over the top of the guy in front of you and use the reach of your weapon to your advantage. Obviously, you look at something like Mortek Guard, where the spears, you have the choice between your Mortek Guard to take spears or swords. The swords get +1 to hit and the spears get an extra inch of reach. The problem with those though is they are on a smaller base. Mortek Guard are on 25mm, and when you work that out into inches, it's just slightly less than an inch. So as long as your Mortek Guard are base to base, they can technically fight in 2 ranks because their bases are so small. So why would you take the spear for an extra inch of reach when you can already fight in 2 ranks with the sword, and you basically get +1 to hit for free? Now, the thing that made me think about spears again, and this is something that I would love to see changed, a lot of people really liked that sort of Battle Brothers concept and being able to fight in 2 ranks with any weapon as long as you were in base to base, and it's something that is sort of heavily rumoured to be a nice change in Age of Sigmar 4th edition, and I personally would be all for it. I used to really like the range element of weapons and sort of playing with that and being able to screen things out and fight over the top of them, and I think that's a really cool element, but I know a lot of people like and prefer the thing that changed in that old General's Handbook, and being able to fight in 2 ranks that way. One thing that I would like to see though is if they do sort of dumb down the sort of range route in terms of attacking and just let you fight in 2 ranks like that, is what we saw with the new Uruk war clans. And I'm talking specifically about the Uruk Ardboys, who basically got the nice combination of the Lumineth Wardens and the Mortek Guard. So let's bring up the Uruk Ardboys war scroll and let's have a little talk about that. So as we can see, the Uruk Ardboys get to choose between taking the Ardboy choppers or the Ardboy stickers, and they must all take the same weapon, so there's no mixing or matching. So basically you have your choppers or you have your stickers, which are your spears. Now we can see that the weapon profiles for those, the choppers have the extra to hit, they're hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, -1 rend and 1 damage, and the stickers are only hitting on 4s but still wounding on 3s, -1 and 1 damage. The difference is the stickers get the extra inch of reach, which again is totally fair and is nothing that we don't already see. Now, one of the things that I really love about this war scroll, and I hope it kind of goes completely game wide in 4.0, and is the sort of choices I think you should be making with your basic troops when choosing between spears and swords, or sort of spears and axes, or whatever your guys might be armed with. And that is the 2 different rules of Here We Go and the Stickers. So here we go, you get 1 extra attack to the characteristic of the Ardboy choppers if they made a charge move in the same turn, and the stickers improves the rend characteristics of this unit's Ardboy stickers by 1 if the target made a charge move in the same turn. So that basically means that your choppers get bonuses. Not only are they already +1 to hit anyway, but now you're getting a bonus attack if you made a charge move. So that really benefits you for being a bit more aggressive with your chopper unit. And the stickers gives you an extra point of rend if you are targeting an enemy unit that has made a charge move. So basically if they've charged in and are now in range of you, you get an extra point of rend against them for that phase only. And I really like that. Again, it's very thematic. It's the enemy charging into your spears and then they are being punished for doing so, but it's nothing too harsh or game breaking. And I think if we had more of these choices across different war scrolls, for spears getting sort of bonuses for being used defensively and for screening, and things like swords and axe units getting extra bonuses for being aggressive and charging on in, then that could be a really nice and interesting dynamic game-wide in Age of Sigmar 4th edition. Now I think if you combine those sort of benefits and rules across war scrolls, it would not only give you a bit more flavour for all your units, but if you combine that with the core rule that you could fight sort of how we did in that old General's Handbook, where if you're in 2 ranks and you're base to base with a friendly model who is then in base contact with an enemy unit, letting you fight in 2 ranks anyway, then that could be a really nice way to sort of benefit both the weapon profiles, all the different units across the game, some of the bigger units in the game that already struggle to get sort of reinforced units in. I think the new coherency rule change, where now you can have units of 6, which is something that's actually quite common when you come across it. Being able to stand in a line and not have to go into ranks is a great way to mitigate some of those more elite units. But then when you have the bigger units, or you're reinforcing sort of units up to 10 or maybe even 20 models, then I think that this would be a fantastic route to go down. But what do you guys think? What do you think we should do with spears? Is just having an extra inch but lacking that -1 to hit enough? Or do you think we should have more rules and changes to the war scrolls like Lumineth Wardens have, where they get defensive bonuses, or like these Ardboys here that will allow you to sort of pick and choose between an offensive option or the more defensive choice? I would love to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. Is this something that you would love to see more of in 4th edition? But that's just my thoughts for today, and until then, stay safe and happy wargaming. Psst! Hey you! Did you know that Lakey Wargames now has an official eBay store? You can buy yourself all kinds of pre-painted and new on sprue hobby goodness and support the channel at the same time. There's a link in the description below if you want to check it out. I'd greatly appreciate it. And it's a fantastic way to support the channel. Okay, see you in the next one.